will literally be like in a space. I'm introverted, so I'm very much in my head. I have a million thoughts at once, and they're very personal thoughts to me. Like I don't always share everything in my head, even to Devon, because that's just how I am. But he senses, it's like he has a sixth sense or something. And he'll be like, "What are you thinking right now?" And I'm
Yep.
just like, like it'll be like it'll catch me off guard. Like
You do that, Power?
Yes,
and
sir.
it almost feels like an invasion of privacy. Like, what
Yeah,
get
yeah.
out of my head.
I need all them thoughts.
Right.
Come on.
But and sometimes
All right, we're out. Bring them out. What's going on, Powers?
Hello. What's up, y'all?
You know, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. How did y'all start this Saturday over there?
Ooh, a bit hectic. For some reason, I've been waking up super early all week, and I haven't had work all week. But today, I went to sleep a little bit late, and I woke up like a bit disoriented. So it wasn't like a peaceful start, but it's balancing out.
Nice. Okay.
And I've been out and about since about 7:30 a.m. Not doing business, but taking care of mine. So I was playing some basketball earlier on.
There we go.
nice self-care.
You still at Nap?
You said what?
You still at Nap? Where you play at?
Yep, same place.
Oh, love it. Good times.
Yeah,
Good
sorry,
times.
that
Yeah, I love it. So I don't know if y'all remember, folks who are listening, there was an episode where I was like, Onah Power broke my body today.
Yes.
Right. So this is that Onah Power where I had to guard him during basketball, and we'll get into why it was so difficult for me to guard him. Long story short, literally my body was hurting for 3 days after that basketball game. I was just like, yeah, I'm good.
He came home. He was like, "Yeah, not doing anything for the rest of the day." I was like, "Thanks, Onah. Thank you."
But getting into intros, Onah, you go first, and then Queen Pelumi after that. But Onah, if you can give folks a little bit of background on just who you are, things that you've been through, and specifically why it was so difficult for me as a normal person to guard you during that day.
A normal person.
Absolutely. My name is Onah Power. I went to UC Davis, where I had the opportunity of meeting these lovely two. At Davis, I studied economics as well as I was a soccer player. So I played Division I soccer for about 3 years. And I was a walk-on. So in that timeline, I got to work on a lot of skills that helped me apply myself in my everyday life, that I was able to apply in my everyday life. Sorry.
Yeah.
So since then, after I graduated UC Davis, I became a professional soccer player, which is, I believe, what Devon is referring to, because I do like to run a lot.
Yeah.
So
quick feet.
Quick feet. Like, he's moving. He got sharp knees and elbows too. So it's just like,
Gotta watch out.
Yeah. So did that for a little bit in the U.S. and then I moved over to Europe for 6 months. I was in England for a couple of months, and then I moved over to Spain. So I was playing there for a little bit, and then COVID hit, and I transitioned back to the United States and actually pursued a career as a teacher. It was an absolutely amazing time. I really, really enjoyed everything about it. But the Queen got a lovely job, and I also wasn't necessarily ticking all the boxes in my career. So I wanted to explore some other options, being that I'm currently super young. I am 26. So at the time, I remember a couple of years back when Devon was turning 26, I was like, "Sir, you're old."
Old, right? You're old.
And now I'm looking back like, man, I'm old.
Man, that's funny.
But yeah, so in that timeline, I tried to find what career I wanted to go into that would tick all those boxes. So currently, I work in sales. I work for one of the biggest distributors of exterior building products. So pretty much anything that would go on the outside of the house, my company sells. Now, we're a Fortune 500 company. We're traded on the stock market, etc. So it's a really, really big company, and I enjoy what I currently do. And the reason, obviously, in sales, you make a little bit more money, so that ticks one of the boxes I wanted to say. Being a teacher, I got an opportunity to help a lot of people. I love helping people. That's just always been in my career path. I'm just always really devoted to giving myself to people. So in my current position, sales allow when you do sales right, it allows you the opportunity to help people, right? If you don't focus on the numbers, you're actually focusing on the solutions that you're providing people. It gives you an opportunity to really make a difference. So that's why I really enjoy what I'm currently doing. So that's a little bit about me.
Nice. Onah Power, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome to the stage. Yes. Pelumi, what's going on, girl?
Hey y'all.
Hey.
I never know where to start when I even intro. I just tend to ramble on. But so I'm Pelumi, Alua Pelumi Babatunde. That's still my last name. Working on it. I'm okay. I'm 23.
Youngin.
I I know. Sometimes I just feel like I feel like I've been old forever. But I'm 23. I'm currently a designer. So I went to UC Davis also. That's how I met this guy. And no, y'all. And I got a 2 degrees. I have a degree in psychology. I have a degree in design. Crazy background story. I was pre-med in school. I feel like I've told this story a lot of times to people. I was pre-med in school. Halfway through, I was like, I'm not happy. I hate these classes. It was just a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, okay, I always wanted to go into tech. How am I going to combine that? And I was already a psychology major. So I just did a lot of research. I feel like I went through those growing pains that people go through if they are kind of like worried about what it is that they want to do. I went through that during that time period, and I would just sit in my class looking for ways while the professor was teaching to, figure out what I'm going to do.
Why they were teaching.
Yeah. And I found design, and then I decided halfway through, I think it was the beginning of my junior year, or I was like, okay, I'm going to do design major. So I did my prereqs, and then the next quarter, because UC Davis quarter system, I decided to start my design major. And I was like, you know what? I know it's a lot, but I'm not spending one more second on this campus. I don't have to. So I took a bunch of summer classes and basically completed my design and psychology degree with the 1.5 years left. So I guess I did my design degree in 1.5 years. I got that, and then it was COVID. You're like the first tester students for COVID, and then you graduate, not have a graduation, and then after months of looking, which was very gruesome, found a job, moved back down to SoCal, which I'm from, and been wanting to come back down too, and then been working remote. It's great for me. I'm a little bit of like, I have social anxiety, and then recently just signed a new job offer that I'm starting.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a designer, and I tell people, what I do, and I'm like, I'm a UX designer, I'm a product designer. People don't know what that is, but hopefully at some point people will know what that means. But essentially, I design products, whether it's apps or websites or more. I do all the design and all the work to make users experience good. So to simply put it, that's what I do.
Beautiful. And it's so great to have you on this show. I feel like we have a lot of conversations about wealth, about love, kind of like on the side, right? So very happy to have y'all here for other people to kind of learn from your story and also be able to, pick up some nuggets along the way. Our goal with this show, if you didn't know, only 2% of Black families have a net worth of over $1 million. 2%. Right.
Do you know what it is for like white families?
I
Asian
don't.
families?
I don't. I'm not worried about that percentage. I'm not. I'm just like, how do we get that 2% up? And our goal is like, we want to be in that 2% and above, and we want all the married couples that are around us to also reach for that 2% as well. So I'm looking forward to this convo. But I do want to start with how y'all met and why y'all chose to get married early or quote unquote young. I feel like in today's culture, like people are looking around like they're not trying to get married in their 20s, right? They're trying to live their life, YOLO, do all that kind of fun stuff in their 20s, and then maybe get married in their 30s or 40s. So if y'all don't mind, talking a little bit about the story and how y'all met, but also that decision on like, nah, this the one. We're about to build together. Yeah, I'm 23. Yeah, I'm 24, but I see it.
26.
Well, when they met.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, talk to me about that story.
Yeah, I'm gonna let the queen take it away because whenever I tell the story, she's always like, "That's not how it happened."
Hey, same thing.
It seems like that happens often, so I was just pass that on to her.
Making good decisions early, sir.
So we met in Davis. It's a bit of an interesting story on different levels, but it's to simplify it. We met at Davis. We were, I think anyone who goes to Davis in the Black community, I don't know how it is now, but the Black community is sort of like a tight knit, and that can come with a lot of problems and a lot of benefits. So kind of experienced both. But met this dude. He was just like another person, like in the Black community, kind of like knew who he was, and then had a very interesting background. He was a very interesting character at the time, and then just to simply put it.
On the power.
But yeah, interesting is the word. So just tried to get to know him, and in like I think when I knew him or knew of him, I was either like 17 or 18 because I started college 17. And then it wasn't until the beginning of my sophomore year that he was trying to reach out to me more. And and
in them DMs.
Oh, no.
And just a lot of like, interesting college stuff around that. And then I decided to get to know him against, some advice because like I said, he was an interesting person. And I was like, you know what, I'm young, I haven't really done anything or experienced anything. It's fine to get to know someone. I don't mind, you kind of take someone's character for what, you're being shown. So that was that for me, and just getting to know him, and then just being like really relaxed about the whole thing. Wasn't really any intentions like behind it, just kind of like living life, I guess. And then just from that, I guess you you build and then you get something stronger. And then he graduated 2 years before me, so 2018 is when we got together. And this was when we started playing soccer professionally, and that's when we were together. And then that's kind of how we met in college, did the fun college stuff, and then got together when he was serious. He said he wanted to do that, and that
let me drop the first nugget. Nugget: do not set any boxes or put yourself in any boxes when you're looking for the one.
Oh, come on! You got to keep
expand.
coming.
Yeah, what you mean?
Keep coming.
That's himself.
Everything she said so far was that I was a very interesting person on so many levels, as she should, right? And if she would have listened to the noise in the background, right, to everything else around her, versus, I mean, it was noise because you saw through the noise and you saw my personality, and that's why I'm here. So it was noise because if you would have listened to it, it could have distracted you from and would have obstructed you from being where you currently are, right? That's what I'm saying. So in regards to that, like a lot of people have certain like different ways that they go about it, or certain different things that they say, oh, look for this or look for that, or don't do this or don't do that. I feel like we did a lot of untraditional things. In my personal opinion, Queen's already disagreeing, but in my personal opinion, I feel like we had a different route than most people who do end up to get married and get where they need to be typically take.
I think what I'm disagreeing with is that I wouldn't say not to put yourself, don't have any like check boxes, because obviously you have standards, and standards are good. It's good to have standards, what works for you, because everyone is from a different background. So I wouldn't say not to have that or not have any boxes you need to check, because if something is what you need, it's what you need or what you want. So it's not that I didn't have any standards or he didn't have any standards. I don't think that's necessarily the word for it, but I think it's more like we just sort of like went with the flow, and because that's where we were at that time, and that's what worked for us. And sometimes people don't, are not ready to go with the flow, and that's okay. And in terms of noise, I think it's just about being using your discernment. So it's, a lot of times some of these things come from a good place where, they're trying to get you to see things, or warn you about things. So it's more just about discerning. So it's not that, you don't have that in the back of your head. So I definitely did. It was just more, so I was going with the flow and just trying to, I think it's always just good to, like I said, kind of learn someone for yourself or kind of get to know someone yourself. Just to clarify that.
Yeah, absolutely have standards. Absolutely.
Out here.
You're like, yeah, you're okay. We'll take you. No, I think what you're saying is really important because, like you're saying, it's important to figure out for yourself what you need and what you're attracted to. That's fine, but I think still, like you're kind of like what you're saying, still having that open mind of like it may not come in the package that you expect it to. Right. And I think that's definitely what I got.
How you gonna say it may not come in a package and then be like, I definitely like, y'all see this? Oh, Jair, cut it.
Thank you for tuning in to the True Health Forever podcast. We hope you learned something valuable that you can take and implement into your life. Now, we've all heard that sharing is caring, and this podcast is no exception. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, a family member, a coworker, a stranger walking down the street, anybody who you think can level up from this message. As always, we appreciate your support, and we'll talk to you next week. Be well.